What if the future of Star Trek wasn't about exploring space, but about rebuilding belief? Because Star Trek Starfleet Academy doesn't start with a mission, it starts with a question. What does Starfleet even mean anymore? Set in the farthest future of the franchise and following directly up on the events of Star Trek Discovery, the galaxy is still recovering from the burn, a disaster that fractured the Federation and nearly broke Starfleet as an institution. Now, Starfleet Academy has reopened, not just as a symbol of what Starfleet is, but what it could be again. And that shift in perspective is what makes this series feel different from Star Trek series before it. Most Star Trek stories are about exploration, new worlds, and new civilizations. This one is about identity, about a generation of cadets trying to figure out not just how to serve Starfleet, but whether they actually believe in it, and more importantly, what it should stand for moving forward. At the center of the story is the mentor protege relationship between Chancellor Nala Ake and Cadet Caleb Meir. And what makes Caleb interesting is that he's not your typical Starfleet idealist. He didn't grow up dreaming about joining, he got here because he survived, because he needed somewhere to go. And his journey isn't about becoming a better officer, it's about learning how to believe in something bigger than himself. Opposite him, Holly Hunter plays Chancellor Ake, and she's one of the best parts of the show. She isn't a classic, confident Starfleet captain. She's seen the Federation fail and carries that weight. And her relationship with Caleb feels as much like teacher and student as it does two people trying to figure out if the same system is still worth believing in. And the rest of the ensemble really builds on that idea. Every cadet comes from a different background, different assumptions about Starfleet, with different reasons for being there. And the show does something smart. Even taking place after all of the other Star Trek shows thus far, it still doesn't treat Starfleet as a fully realized ideal. It treats it like a work in progress, something these characters are actively shaping in real time. Even the antagonist, Noose Bracca, played perfectly by Paul Giamatti, reflects that. He's not just a villain trying to destroy Starfleet, he's challenging it, calling out its contradictions, forcing it to confront the gap between what it says it stands for and what it actually does. Visually, the show looks great. There's a real sense of scale to the Federation as it rebuilds itself. But it also knows when to stay small and focus on conversations, character, and the moments where these big ideas actually become personal. It's not a perfect show. The earlier episodes do feel a little uneven as the character arcs take time to establish themselves. But honestly, that works perfectly for the story that Starfleet Academy is telling. Because it's not about a perfect system, it's about a broken one trying to rebuild, and the people who have to decide whether it's still worth believing in. And after this solid season of television, I look forward to what the second half of this series holds in store for us as it closes out this era of Star Trek, as we cautiously await what comes next for one of the most hopeful franchises in all of science fiction. In a franchise built on the idea of a better future, leaving off on a series like Starfleet Academy feels exactly right. So let me know in the comments, did you enjoy the first half of Star Trek Starfleet Academy? And what do you think Star Trek should look like going forward beyond it? Most importantly, if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to subscribe to Fandom Frontline for more deep dives into film, TV, gaming, and all of the stories that define our fandom.